So here's what I'm saying about New York session. You got to have a bigger stop. Just look at these candles, right? Imagine that we are taking this bounce, right? This is a bounce from the daily zone up to the next daily zone. So if we waited for price to pass our trend line, and this trend line came from the 15-minute, right? Waited for price to pass our trend line, and we were wanting to hold to this next level. And this was our stop loss, right? So let's say we wait for price to retest. We broke the trend line. Here's the retest. Price passed the last rejection. Enter, right? Now, if we're holding for this move, your stop has to be below this area. Has to be below this area, right? So we got to make sure it makes sense. I would say even right here, because look at that last wick. This is too close. If you're holding for this move, you would have got stopped out right here, right before that move, okay? So let's just see how many points this stop would have needed to be. So if you say you entered here, imagine you enter right when it passed here. Okay, let's go over to the left. That is 7403.50, and then your stop needs to be like underneath this area, aka underneath this area, right? Underneath this area. And then look into, I said underneath this area, not at this area. You gotta give it some room because it makes sense for it to be underneath that wick. Okay, so let's see how many points. That's a big stop, but that's what was necessary. So look, once again, I think it was 403. Let's just say it was 403. Even if we 403 when we pass this level. 403.50. Stop loss underneath this wick. Really, look, we're getting that wick from underneath here, which is connected to here, so you can see that it should be underneath here. If you look to the left again, there's a wick here, and this is really the safer spot. Look how many points. It was 403, and this is 92. So that is almost a 10-point stop, which is 100%. But that's what happens with New York. With New York, you gotta have wider stops. So the way to make sure that you don't get stopped out is if you are trading with multiple contracts, you have to scale in so you can have a wider stop. And let's just see how many points this thing was from here, how many points you would have made. Let's go all the way up to this point, 422. So we went from 403 to 92 to 22. That's a lot of points. That's almost a 20-point move. Almost a 20-point move. So that's 200%. Okay? 200%. So you're risking, this is a 1 to 2. You're risking, let's just say you're risking 50 to make 100. That's a 1 to 2 move. Okay? So just remember that when you're trading New York, you have to have a wider stop, even if your entry is great, because it's just the candles are bigger. But when you're trading Asia session, the candles are smaller, so your stop, the same move, your stop might be only, 5 points. But for New York, you have to be able to understand that the candles are bigger, the moves are bigger. All right? Just so you know.